Hi, good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, first faculty meeting, official faculty meeting in January. Thank you so much for being here. We've got quite a bit on the agenda, some of which is just informational for you to read over, just some dates to kind of stay fresh in your mind. Weekly happenings will be coming out, Coach Rollins. Weekly happenings will be coming out shortly this afternoon. Just have a couple things to confirm, okay? First and foremost, on the agenda, Mr. Herbert, ACT.
Yes, I'm behind.
Yes. Hold this.
Oh, I'm holding this thing.
Look at that guy.
Okay. All right. So on your table, you see a deal that says know who your legislator is. You can use that if you don't know how to find out who your, House representative or senator is. Obviously, everybody knows who the governor is. We'd like to get 2 postcards written just saying, congratulations on your victory. We look forward to your support. Something really short, simple, sweet. If you want to do that right now, and then you can give them to us before you leave, or I'll send my my lab aide around during 5th hour and pick them up. So if you want to wait and look it up and actually write their name, go ahead. If you already know it, write it down now. You will take it. All right. But just something real short and sweet. We want to make them feel like we love them, so that they'll love us, obviously. Okay. So that's because there's a lot of things that they're going to be looking at doing. Okay. So try to get them on our side early, and whether we like them or not, make them feel like we do. So that's there for you. I don't want to take up much time because I know that there's a lot to do. The only other thing was if you're an ACT member, we sent out an email about getting some feedback on whether you wanted to have meetings or not at the building site. So just give us your feedback on that, when you would like to do it. It's always hard, I know, but we just want to get as much information back to the main people as we can. Okay, Coach Rollins, your turn. You ready? ACT.
What do you want me to say?
I'll tell you what you always say.
Hey.
Okay, that's good. All right.
Thank you. Mr. Epperly, mutual assistance.
No bad news to report. Just a reminder, if you're a new teacher to the district, you have 2 years to join. Okay? So if you didn't join this year, you still got another year to go.
Thank you, Mr. Epperly. Ms. Foley, Social Committee.
Yeah, Social Committee. So I sent out the email that Social Committee take care of Christmas gifts for principals over Christmas time. Also, English department, I'm still wanting to do a baby shower for Mrs. Sandersfeld. I know that she's already had her baby, but because of last semester being so busy, if anybody in the English department will help me out, I really need help. Mrs. Droger has been so kind to say that she'll step in and actually help out with this as well, and has made a really great baby blanket for her. And so we want to do something for Mrs. Sandersfeld in that aspect. Also, Mrs. Darberry has been in touch with me. And if I don't know what's going on, I can't do anything for anyone. And so I guess Mr. McAvoy had a loss over Christmas break, and that was something near and dear to their family. And I'm going to have a card set out. There is a baby in their family that has passed away around Christmas time.
No idea.
And I didn't know this either, and so until just this past week. And so it will be there in the main lounge. I know he no longer works here, but he subs here quite a bit for us. And so it will be there starting at lunch tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to go get that yet. So it will be in the main faculty lounge for us to sign, and I'll mail that to him and his family. Just condolences from the Titan family. So that will be in there by lunch tomorrow.
Thank you. Chief, come on up.
Oh, I got to use this, right? Excellent. This has got a clip on it, too, if I remember right. Look at that. Bam. Okay, so this is a little bit of professional development. I know what you're thinking. Chief's got this teacher thing wired. It's not true. I still can learn stuff. Still learning things in my prime age of 57. Get that math, guys? Okay. So, all right, I want to say thanks to the experienced teachers and principals, several of them much younger than I am, have shared their wisdom with me, and I've got through this little professional development piece. Okay, so how can a great learning goal help you in your classroom? Okay, 1, it'll save you time. 2, it'll focus your training. 3, it'll create student interest. Okay, so my first whack at this was 54 words and took up 1/3 of my whiteboard. So, yeah, pretty hefty effort. And I was doing that pretty much every day, okay, until I got a little clue from the principal saying, you need to work on that a little bit. Okay, So second shot was 34 words, formulas, figures. It was pretty much a lesson plan on the board, right? So the only one that was reading that was me and any of the principals that kind of snuck into my classroom, right? Or if you get Coach White, he just comes blazing through that door, man. So, okay, my last shot, which was a really good feedback learning goal, was 19 words and 2 sentences, okay? So here it is. Evaluate and analyze. Oh, this is for Chapter 8, similarity. So evaluate and analyze the relationship between lines, angles, and polygons. Use reasoning with proportions and ratios to determine measures. Now, doesn't that sing? Huh? So, that's pretty awesome. Now, the learning goal saved me time. I'm only doing it once per chapter. Okay, it's focused in my student training effort when I look on that and make sure I'm kind of narrowed in on that. And 3, it's creating student interest. And you go, what? I've had that learning goal on the board since Monday as I've been passing it with the principal and stuff. And I had 3 students come up to me and ask me about it. Hey, what's that? And all my other learning goals up I've posted, no one's ever asked me about. So I think I've made some progress. I'm an A119. Come by and say hi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to do just a quick follow-up with some of the things that we went over. Most of you, I know, made it to some of the student orientations, which was great. Teacher turnout was great down there. The kids were much better behaved when you guys were there to help them. So thank you for, I know some of you came during your plan, and that was noticed and appreciated. Being consistent across the faculty is what's been able to help Carl Albert stay great as our demographics have continued to change and we've had other issues come up. So consistency on your part makes it easier for your fellow teachers, but it also sends a clear picture to the kids of what we expect. When we say high expectations, it's from everybody. So far, I can tell from the kids' reactions, everybody's being pretty consistent with the tardy policy this semester, and we appreciate that. The kids already doing some ASD for some tardies. It just makes life go better. One thing that came up from that, teachers, if you have a kid who's got one tardy now and doesn't get another one till April and it slips by you, okay, that happened. I mean, but when they've got 2 or 3 in 1 week, or they get consistently 1 every day, I mean, those kind of things are the things that trigger your mind. I mean, don't stress out about the ones that are 3 months apart and got by you, okay? One thing that we've really been working with the kids that's not really been an issue until this year is Josh told them all being on time. What is it? If you're on time, you're late. Be early. Yeah, it's some Vince Lombardi thing. I'm sure all the coaches could quote it for me right now, but yeah, just totally butchered that. I made him say it every time because I could never remember it. But so stopping, I mean, especially in the morning, just the roaming of the halls and the gathering of the kids. I mean, we need to get some no loitering signs or something, but just help us encourage them, get to class, and it's okay to be early. Much better to be early than to be late. And cell phones, let us be the bad guys. They were told not to charge them in class. They were told if you can't get through the day with a full charge, go buy a portable battery. Almost every single one of those kids has a portable battery. There's no reason. Not only is it a tripping hazard if you need to exit, if they knock those phones off and they break, they're going to look at you. I can't believe we haven't had some stolen that are plugged into walls. There's all the time kids coming back at the end of the day, especially the coaches that leave 6th period. Oh, I left my phone in so-and-so's room, and it's because they left it plugged in. So let us be the bad guy on that. Already in 2 weeks, I've had several parents say, I wish y'all didn't even let them use phones at all in class. Let's follow through with that. Since we got them back last year, it's been educational purposes only. But we can walk in a classroom, not all classrooms, but several classrooms, and teachers don't care that they're on their phones. So you guys, that's one of those consistency things. And if the kids know our rule is educational purposes only, and you're kind of scoffing our rule and saying, I don't really care, do whatever you want, how do you expect that kid to ever follow any of your rules or any of our rules? So we just need your help on that. And that's it.
Make us the bad guy. It is educational purposes only. If there's free time in your class, they need to go ahead and start reviewing the next chapter or something. They need to be doing something educational purposes. They don't need to be playing on their phones. And I don't know if you truly realize how big of a headache the phones are and social media and all of the mess that they can get into. And if they could not get into that mess while on our time, it would be great. So
Come down and get brooms. We got extra brooms in our
Perfect. Perfect. Leadership, Leadership Stuco, Miss Dozier.
Do I have to come up there or can I stop here?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going to. You're still going to see. On the spot, I was going to get away. Dang it. Okay. Titan pageant, guys, it is quickly approaching. I know a lot of us are new and we don't know what the Titan pageant is. It's like a bigger deal than homecoming was, where we had the princesses and the escorts from all of the organizations come up in their fancy outfits, and we called them out and gave bios on them, and they were on the stage. That's what the Titan pageant is, but it's blown up. It's a lot bigger. It's an evening event. All organizations and sports included will be invited to this. It is a black tie event, so we do expect the guys to be in tuxedos. The girls are in full-length gowns. It is 7 p.m. on February 4th. There is an admission, not to you guys, but there is an admission to $5 for students and families to come in. So it's a fundraiser for Student Council, and it's how we pay every year to put on this event, because we do make it a very big event. I mean, we set up the auditorium in a very fancy way. What I'm asking of you guys is to understand that on that day, the 60 participants that are in the pageant will be out of school that day. If they have an obligation, and I will send out a list of who it is, they're all seniors. If they need to be in your classroom for whatever reason, then let me know, and we'll make sure that during our rehearsal they're in your classroom. Just send me a message so that I can say, nope, you've got to go. Your classwork trumps the rehearsal that we're going through. Otherwise, they're with me that day in the auditorium. So it's not difficult for me to send them to you. So don't let them say they can't, because they can, even though I've got them excused that day to be with me. But that event that night is at 7 p.m. Organizations for the boys, because the girls obviously take care of purchasing their own gown. The tuxedo, we've always encouraged organizations, if they can help the guys pay for the tuxedo, since it's not something they get to keep like the girls get to keep their gown. It is $113 for them to rent that. If your organization is able to help defer that cost for these guys, some of them honestly cannot afford that at all. Some of them have very little money to their name. They cannot afford that, or at least paying half of it. Will you get with your guys and let them know whether or not you're going to be able to help pay that cost? Get a purchase order put in place with Sherry to help defer that for them. Let them know whether or not you will agree to pay half of it, a quarter of it, all of it, something. Otherwise, the guys are not really understanding how they're going to pay for this tuxedo, because that is a big cost for something that they're not going to be able to wear again, where the girls get to keep that dress, and a lot of them will swap their dresses and wear it to prom. So it actually is a little bit of an investment for them. Are there any questions about the Titan pageant? I've actually had students come to me and ask to withdraw from the pageant because they're scared about the swimsuit portion. It's not like Miss Universe. They don't have a talent or a swimsuit. They're getting the word pageant really confused. It's a pageant because it's formal but it's not like that. So please encourage the kids to understand that they're really just coming out on the stage looking beautiful with a bio, but it's not that kind of a pageant. And as far as Swag Week, that will be the week right before spring break, so the week of the 11th through the 15th. And I know a lot of you are curious about our recipient. We have selected one. We typically have an assembly in which we reveal that recipient to you guys, and we make it kind of a surprise, and we bring that recipient out. So I'm not intentionally, I am intentionally keeping that from you because we wanted it to be a surprise, but I know some of you are wanting to know who it is. So if you want me to share that with you right now, I will. But the reason it hasn't been revealed is because we do have an assembly in which we reveal it. So that's just to kind of clarify why we haven't talked very much about that. We do have that assembly. Yes, ma'am? How long do I have to wait to know when to do assembly?
Well, I need to get with Ms. Goggins on when we're going to do the assembly. I mean, it'll be after Titan pageant. I mean, give me a break. Give me a break.
Give me 2 weeks.
Do you think that she'll be able to attend, or should you go ahead and reveal the name?
I mean, I don't know. They don't know. I mean, she can. It's just depending on whether she's having a good or bad day that day. I mean, it could change on that day. I mean, I can reveal who it is. It's not that big a deal. But would you like me to? It was actually the candidate we were going to select last year before the situation with Richard Morris came up. And so, of course, we chose Richard Morris instead. Her name is Troyan McCullum. She has been in our district for a very long time. Obviously, she no longer is able to work in our district. She has ALS. Her connection to Carl Albert High School is that both her children went to Carl Albert High School. They were very active band members. Gage McCullum just graduated last year. When she, as a band member booster parent, she was extremely active. I mean, she was that band parent. I mean, she did everything, was at everything, very encouraging. So she was tightened through and through in that regards, but she was a Mid-Dell employee for many years. But she is suffering with ALS and was misdiagnosed for many, many, many years with ALS. And so now she is, of course, bound to the wheelchair with the respirator, with the breathing tubes and so forth. So she is very advanced in her condition. So it's a very sad situation to see her, but her spirits are so high. I mean, it's amazing what your spirits will do to your health situation.
She was surprised over Thanksgiving break. Some of the kids showed up and surprised her and let her know revealed to her that she was going to be the SWAT candidate. So.
Right. And her son Gage, like I said, who just graduated last year, many of you I'm sure still know Gage McCullum. I mean, he's just overwhelmed with pride for Carl Albert High School that they would select his mother, and just that help is being given to his family because they are in desperate need financially. So that is who she is. Her it is.
Hang on, before you move on, did I hear you an announcement yesterday that you're going to meet with the reps today?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you meeting with
Just stand with her, yeah, you're good.
Yes, during academic enhancement, the reps are coming in. There was an announcement made, and they've also been sent in a group meeting that they're supposed to come in here. And that's going to give them all the information about that day, when they're getting excused, when they have to be there that night, all the information about the tuxedo, when they're going to get fitted, all that will be given today during academic enhancement. Again, if you have a student that is supposed to come to my academic enhancement for that purpose, but they need to be in your classroom, I've told them your academics comes before what I'm doing, so they can do me later. Sorry, I didn't want you to talk to me. Sorry.
Okay, so enrollment. Can't believe we're already there, but we are. So we're gearing up. Kickoff is the 24th of January. We will meet with 8th graders down at CAHS. And on the 28th, we will have our 8th grade parent night. And so all coaches, sponsors, will need you there in the small gym. The coaches are in the small gym to sign off for our students. Sponsors, if you want a table, please email me, and we'll make sure that you have a table there with a sign so that you will be, they'll know you are French Club or you are leadership. Or so email me that. But the 24th we kick off, we're down at CAHS. Then on the 31st, we start meetings up here of January 31st. And we'll do it like we've always done it, where all 9th graders come at one time to the cafeteria, all sophomores come at one time to the cafeteria, and all juniors come at one time. Then we'll do our one-on-ones, and on that we will have it here in the library. It will be freshmen. It will affect your English classes. That's who will come. Sophomores, your history class. Juniors, your history class. If you are assigned to come, please make sure that bring something for them to work on. They will sit here. You can teach. You can use Miss Knight has computer things that you can use, your technology, but have them doing something. Stay with them because we'll be back there working with them one-on-one, so we can't watch what's going on here. So stay with them, please. If they are absent on the day that we have our one-on-one with them, please, we ask that you keep them in class and not send them to us because they're going to be eager. Oh, I missed my meeting. I need to go see them. Keep them in class. We will come. We will call them out, and we will have them come to us. Our goal is we will have all one-on-ones done by that Friday before Swag Week because Swag Week is pretty crazy. You will have that whole thing sent to you guys. The plan will be sent to you guys next week. So be looking for it, even though you're not a teacher who it actually affects on the one-on-ones. Every teacher almost will be affected by bringing the classroom down to the cafeteria. So I think that's it on enrollment. Does anyone have any questions that maybe I've missed?
One more date. When are your meetings, your grade level meetings?
Our grade level meetings are on the 31st.
Yeah, the 31st.
And then our one-on-ones start on February the...
On the 31st, second hour, you're going to lose your 9th graders. Third hour, you're going to lose your 10th graders. And 6th hour, you're going to lose your juniors. That's on the weekly happenings that are coming to you this morning, okay?
There will also be an AP night on February the 12th. And Mrs. Ross and Laura Souza and Becky Worth will be heading that up. So if there is something that you feel AP teachers are crucial, please get with them so that they know that needs to be shared. If there is something crucial that,
Potential
please
AP
get with
students
them.
need to know.
Yes.
Okay.
They need to know exactly what. But we will send this plan out next week. Please look at it and review it. So if you have any questions, just holler at me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Parent-teacher conferences. I give Sherry Walker a big shout out. She was able to secure Qdoba and McAllister's free of charge for those nights. Instead of 4 to 7:30, we've moved that to 3:30 to 7. Was given the go-ahead, we could do that. So those 2 parent-teacher conference evenings constitutes that 1 day of work. So if you're going to miss either one of those, that's a half day of leave. So make sure that you're getting with your evaluating administrator if you're not going to be here for either one of those parent-teacher conferences. Pay to attend. All I can do is apologize that basketball and wrestling both ended up on the same week this year. We'll fix that next year. But next Tuesday and Thursday are pay to go. That's the schedule that's on the back of your agenda. Really, the only class that's going to be totally trashed is on Thursday basketball. There won't be 7th hour. Coach White kind of finagled the schedule to where you would be able to see your kids for the other hours on that Tuesday. So thank you, Coach White, for your help on that. Do you need some volunteers for study hall? Study hall really needs to remain in the cafeteria. It's a really awkward situation whenever you come in and you're like, okay, I'll take him, and oh, I don't want him. I'll take her, him. Okay, you 4 come with me and let's go. And the rest of them are like dodgeball in gym class, standing on the wall wishing they'd been picked. So really, study hall just needs to stay in the cafeteria. I don't know how many kids will wind up in there, but I don't want to be in that situation again. Seriously, a lot of them like come in there and like play cards and things like that. They're all about it. They didn't want to go. They didn't want to go to there anyways, and they love that they get to spend that time with their friends playing whatever it is, and that's great. It's not a deal where we're forcing them to go. Trying to help out, support the programs, throw a little bit of money their way in a time of need. So, Mrs. Drozier, career fair.
Yeah. For the career fair is January 30th. It's going to be during the student lunch hour. We have about 30 business owners, college reps, military reps that are going to be here. And the students will have the opportunity, students will have the opportunity to speak with those that they're interested in talking about their future careers, and maybe some of the things that they need to do over the period of time. Elective classes are able to, if you'll get in touch with me, I'll work out your being able to come through the fair, but that's pretty much for them to go through their lunch hour. Please encourage them to go. It's a great opportunity. I've had students come back and tell me, I changed everything that I was thinking I was going to do in the future because of this one person that I've talked to at the fair. Makes a difference.
Make a point to get down there and encourage your upperclassmen to go down there. I know that that's their lunch hour, but there's a lot of great opportunities down there, and the outside entities that come in, they want to talk to them. They don't necessarily want just all the freshmen that are going to bounce around because they want to get a stamp to get free popcorn at the end. They are here for a purpose, and so we want to continue that. So thank you again for making that happen. Ms. Drozier, this is her kind of baby that she initiated, and it's been very successful, so thank you. Hey, kind of closing up, profanity, some kind of confusion. I realize demographics are changing, but the bar is going to stay here, guys. The expectations are going to stay here. Profanity, racial slurs, anything like that, no matter how great a kid of it is or how big of a thug it might be, it's not acceptable. There's a lot of parents who don't send their kids to school to hear that kind of language, and I support that. And so immediately get that. No, come with me. Let's go out in the hallway. Mr. Foley, Luke's on his way. He did this. Whatever happens from there is in the principal's court, but it's going to be a scene big enough that those kids understand, oh, that's not acceptable. We don't do that here, okay? So continue that. Continue to do that. Thank you so much. N-word, racial slurs, anything that kind of catches if you're not sure what it meant, but the class went, ooh, maybe it's a deal where you need to investigate a little further. Get them out of the room. Let's figure it out, because it changes all the time. The fire alarm situation, was that Monday? They came, they pulled the pool station, and everybody just kept on rocking and rolling. Nothing happened. We were having a principals meeting back in the back. They knocked on the door. They were like, we're having a fire drill. We were like, we're having a what? So our system was faulty, which is great. That's the reason why they do those things. It's the reason why those drills are in place. We would have never known that I'm guessing the power surge the week before, we had those 3 really hard power surges, I'm guessing is what knocked it out. So be looking for them. They'll be coming back. The only alarm that we have is for fire. We don't have any other sounds. We don't have like different sounds. Our old intercom system used to do some different sounds for different reasons. The new one doesn't do that. So they literally just come in, pull a pull station. And their biggest thing, guys, is you got to get out of the building. Get out of the building. And then they want to know, is the building clear? They want to know, are they going in for rescue or are they going in for recovery? That's what they want to know. So the minute that if you think you have a kid missing, tell the person, you're not in trouble. Tell the person who's checking in with you, I don't know where Johnny is. They just need to know. It doesn't matter that Johnny is 5'9" and a junior. It just matters that I'm missing one. Okay. So I learned that last time. One of the teachers tried to help me out and let me know that they had snagged her with my cell phone, and that guy was holding my cell phone, so that wasn't the best situation either. So just know that they're doing it for the right reason. Hey, on attendance, first and foremost, the minute that bell rings, those kids are down, they're doing bell work. I'm going to kind of throw my kid under the bus. I don't know why she just said that. First day back, she's like, did y'all tell them they have to do bell work or something? I don't know who started doing bell work on that first day back, who maybe wasn't doing it before. But, get them going and take roll. It's got to be accurate. We've got to have the accuracy of the call and roll across the board all day long. If you're not sure where they're at, mark them absent. Academic team, Miss Beasley, kudos. Area champs. State will be February the 2nd at Redlands, and Miss Beasley can explain why she needs for it to snow that day.
We want ice and snow, please, so that they will reschedule it, because my number 1 player has a major conflict and won't go to state.
He'll be going to orchestra and not to academic bowl.
We want, we need to reschedule those state regards.
February 2nd. Any other announcements? Coach Corley, anything? Hey, keep doors locked. Had a situation yesterday Coach Corley intervened on in the late evening that was something I wish he didn't have to have intervened on. It was out of people's hands because that door doesn't lock, but keep all doors locked. People are looking for places to hide and holes to tuck away in. That's really all I have. Any other announcements, thoughts, ideas, concerns? Hey, that's all I have. Thank you so much. Have a great day.